Hi, my name is Stephen David Horwich, and I'd like to introduce you to our Upper School Science program. Our Upper School Science program consists of 8 courses. They're quite lengthy and they're quite more thorough than our lower school program. Just because a student has studied these areas of science in lower school or elementary or starter, it does not mean that they know what's on the upper school program courses. They don't. These courses are far more thorough in terms of science and really get into the details. Now, we are a secular curriculum, and I do want you to understand that up front. So if you're not looking for secular science, probably our science program is not for you. These are straight science courses, purely secular, no religious viewpoints are introduced into our science. We do introduce religion very heavily into our history program. You can find out more about our history program on the page about our history courses. But this is a science program. If you're looking for secular science, these courses will work very well for your student. We start with Science Basics. There was a Science Basics course, is a Science Basics course in lower school, but and the first half of the upper school science course is essentially that course. But the second half of upper school science gets into far more detail about what science is, what the tools are that science uses in order to understand the universe. And it's very important that an upper school student do at least the second half of this science course, Upper School Science Basics. Even if the student did lower school, I really recommend very strongly they redo the first half of that science course. They go ahead and do the entire Science Basics course. It's very critical information that the student really has to have to understand later science studies. That Science Basics course and all science courses should be done 2 to 3 times a week by the student for about an hour a week. And we ask that you not do more than 1 lesson a day so that the science doesn't become too much of a drill for the student. Now, if your student loves science, it's your schedule if you're homeschooling, and you should feel free to let the student do science all day long. If that's their passion, by all means, let them go at it. But if you're requiring science and the student isn't passionate about it, they're getting through it, they enjoy it, but it's not their passion, please try not to do it more than 2 to 3 times a week, more than an hour each time or so, a lesson plan or so per day. The second science course and the preceding science courses deal with specific areas of science in great detail. The second science course is Geology, and it uses a book as a core part of its data called it's a Self-Teaching Guide on Geology by Barbara Murck, M-U-R-C-K. You will need that book, and you'll need it not only for geology but for the next course on oceanography. It's not very expensive. It's easily gotten. There are over 2 million copies in print. It's a very popular book on geology. Now, beyond geology, you have oceanography and meteorology, so you have 3 large courses on the earth sciences. You're not going to be able to get your student through much more than 1 course per semester unless they're very passionate about science. Don't expect them to do too much more than that. The amount of information provided is really considerable. After the earth sciences, we have a massive chemistry course, but it's an unusual chemistry course. There is little or no mathematics involved in the manner in which we teach chemistry. We teach the student all of the theoretical basis of chemistry in detail in a very creative manner. Our feeling is that if your student is good at math and wants to understand chemistry more thoroughly and wants to do the math of chemistry, there are wonderful chemistry courses out there that focus on the math, but do not communicate the theories of chemistry very well. This course communicates the chemistry theoretical basis extremely well. We had a college professor who understood this area look over our course, and he was thrilled with it and said, we did the thing that most chemistry courses don't succeed at in communicating what chemistry is and how it works. So we recommend that course very highly. After that, we have a massive biology course. Our 7th course in science is Physics and Astronomy, huge course. There's a lot of film involved in some of these science courses. The film you will need is listed on our site. where each course is explained to you, and we suggest you take a very good look at that before you buy each course. Some of the film is available on the internet, but a lot of it you do have to secure through Blockbuster or Netflix or something like that. Our 8th science course is a science projects course in which the student gets to be creative, decide what areas of science they're interested in and what kind of projects they would like to do, and then they're guided step by step through the projects. There are a few projects that are assigned in the course. They're tremendously fun, and they utilize all of the disciplines of science that the student has acquired. So that gives you an overview of our upper school science program. We hope that you'll take a look at the samples on our site, take a good look at these courses. They are rigorous, they're real science, they're very hands-on. They do qualify as lab sciences because they're filled with experiments, but the things you need for those experiments are almost entirely found in and around your house. You won't need to make very many purchases or hardly any purchases of any kind in order to have these qualify as lab sciences. So thank you very much. We hope you'll take this science program to heart and take a look at it and consider it for your student. Thanks for your time.